Hey everyone, before we start the show, I just want to get some plugs out of the way. If you enjoy this podcast and you're into wrestling, check out the Nerds and Marks podcast or Marty and Sarah Love Wrestling. If you're not getting your fill on movie and entertainment discussion, then check out the Entertainment Buffet podcast. If you want to dive into the world of video games, I highly recommend the Darkcast by my friends over at darkstation.com. Listen to them cover important topics and interview men and women from all over the industry. Thanks for listening and enjoy the show. Hello everyone and welcome to Shelved. I am your host, Jeremy Meyer. So this episode is going to be a special fun little solo episode with me. So I am a massive Ghostbusters fan. I watched the VHS tape so much that it didn't work anymore when I was a kid, which is a very old sentence at this point. I made my own proton packs out of drawing the design on cardboard boxes and getting string for straps. And I went as a Ghostbuster for Halloween. I had the toy proton pack, as many Ghostbusters toys as I can handle. And I've just always been a huge fan of Ghostbusters. It's a movie I watch on constant repeat. And it's hard pressed to say it's one of my favorite franchises of all time. I watched the cartoon, I drank the Ecto Cooler, I had the Ghostbusters fruit snacks, just anything and everything Ghostbusters was holy to me as a kid. Now, everybody knows they remade Ghostbusters last year in 2016. And I, like most people, saw the trailer and I was like, well, that looks like garbage. And I didn't see it. Now, to get this out of the way before anybody starts calling out this nonsense, it has nothing to do with the fact that the Ghostbusters are women. I have no problem with that. I'm totally fine with that, and I was cool with the idea. And when they started casting people, I liked the cast. Like, I don't think Melissa McCarthy is always funny, but she's definitely put out some funny stuff. Kristen Wiig, to me, is hilarious, so I'll check out anything that she's in. I didn't know anything about Kate McKinnon or Leslie Jones. And I know everybody kind of holds up Kate McKinnon on this pedestal. To me, I haven't seen anything that has sold me on her. Granted, I don't really watch Saturday Night Live anymore with any regularity. So I've seen very little of her Saturday Night Live stuff. But I don't know, to me she seems a little overrated. So I don't know a lot about what she brings to the table. So Ghostbusters came out and I just avoided it. I've avoided it like the plague. Every clip I've seen from it, I've thought looked really bad, but I always knew that one day I'm going to have to sit down and watch the movie because honestly, you can't judge the movie until you see it and trailers can only give you so much. So I figured why not watch it for the first time on the podcast. So I'm going to sit here and watch the entirety of 2016's Ghostbusters. And you guys can follow along with me and hear my live reactions as I watch this movie that I assume will be a train wreck. And I honestly, I definitely have had people tell me, hey, it's not as bad as you think it is. But I don't know, to me, it looks painfully unfunny. So we'll just see if I actually laugh at anything, if I find any enjoyment out of this movie at all. But, all right, so let's get started. Okay, so I have my movie sitting here at the 1 minute mark. It is the point where the Columbia Pictures Presents is playing. So I am going to count to 3, and I'm going to hit the play button when I say 3. So 1, 2, 3, play, and so on and so forth. So if anybody wants to queue up their movie and follow along, you can do that. So I'm at the 1 minute mark. I see this movie is 2 hours and 13 minutes long, which seems way too long. But all right, why don't we Let's just get this over with. So 1, 2, 3. All right, the movie is playing. I don't know if any of the audio from the movie will pick up on the recording. I know some did for the Star Wars one we did, but I'm sitting farther away for this one. So naturally, this being my first time watching the movie, there will definitely be moments where I'm just sitting here watching so I can take it all in. But so it looks like we have a tour of a house. This guy looks familiar. I should say I haven't seen a lot of Paul Feig movies. I believe he did Bridesmaids, which I love Bridesmaids. And he did a series on YouTube called Other Space, I think it was, which I actually really enjoyed that. But I haven't seen the Sandra Bullock, Melissa McCarthy movie or any of his other movies, really. So. I'm not sure if he wrote the movie or if he just directed it. Okay, so the candlestick fell over. See, the thing I'll say about the original Ghostbusters that I already know I'm probably going to have a problem with this is Ghostbusters is not a blockbuster. The comedy in Ghostbusters was very subtle, not in your face slapsticky like this one clearly seems like it's going to be. Of course. Okay. Okay, see, now this is it. Because one thing I like about the original Ghostbusters is that it actually is sort of a horror movie in some parts. Oh, hey, man, you weren't supposed to go down there. All right. So far, I've seen worse. Never, even just from the trailers, I've never been a big fan of the ghost effects. But we'll always be a fan of this song. Yeah, so I can see how they're trying to emulate already the library scene from the first one with that. Just like putting their own little twist on it. She looks familiar as well. I assume this will be a lot of familiar actors, even in some of the smaller roles. Hmm. This woman seems inconsistent in her beliefs. Just gonna throw that out there. All right, you got a chuckle out of me. Mm. Some of these jokes I've just already seen done a lot of other places much better. Yeah, there's a lot of actors in this so far. A lot of, oh, hey, it's that guy whose name I do not know. So because she wrote a ghost book a long time ago, that would hurt her credibility. What is wrong with her clothes? Okay, so it looks like her and Melissa McCarthy not getting along. Former colleagues. Oh, I think that's the guy from Other Space. Yeah, that's the guy who was the main character in Paul Feig's web series Other Space, which I really recommend. And I believe he was the cab driver in Deadpool as well. That doesn't make any sense. So far in the laugh meter, I got one chuckle. I've never had wonton soup. I'm not really. I love Chinese food, but I'm never big on the soups. Egg drop soup looks like mucus to me. Oh boy. I will say, like judging from the trailers, Kate McKinnon did look like the one thing in this movie I would find funny because I am kind of a sucker for just these crazy idiot. I don't want to say idiots because she's obviously a scientist, but just the crazy characters. I do like the name Holtzman. That sounds like a Ghostbusters name. All right, seriously. That's so lowbrow. Like the second you write a fart as a punchline into your script, just throw away the script. This is 2017. That shit's not funny anymore. Why is Kate McKinnon so stiff? Like when she moves and Okay, it's very clear that Kristen Wiig just wants to go. Why is he just hanging out across the street if they're not open? All right, well that was stupid. Very obvious. What? Okay, my pants are toast is a good one. So one chuckle, one laugh. Hmm. Like the slime is just so stereotypical. Oh, now notice all the locks on the door are open. But that's actually pretty good. Like the way they are still leaning into the horror a little more than I expected. Okay, if they invented the thing, how would she not know it does that? This is literally just following the beats of the original movie. I just did Paul Feig write this? I have to look this up because some of these fucking jokes are so lazy and just random. It's like he's like, "Oh, random is funny." Just don't get me wrong, random can be funny. That's why I love Aqua Teen Hunger Force, but not in this kind of movie. Okay, Paul Feig did write it with somebody named Katie DePold, who's a writer on Parks and Recreation and wrote The Heat, which was the previous Paul Feig movie. Okay, The idea of the ghost spitting out the ooze, like how does this ghost spit out this tangible stuff? Like, duh. Ooh, Reddit name drop. I don't know anything about giant schools, but I wonder if that would actually be the case. Okay, this just feels like reused jokes from Bridesmaids. That could have been funny, but just didn't land for me. The dynamic of the team is interesting, and I know how Leslie Jones ends up being involved and similar to Winston, but not the same. So Melissa McCarthy is clearly the Ray character. Obviously, Kate McKinnon is Egon, and then Kristen Wiig would be Venkman, but doesn't feel like a Venkman. I do like those ghost shows because they're so stupid and clearly staged. So, is there no Firehouse equivalent in this movie? Or are they just gonna use? Oh, okay. 12 years. So far, all the funny moments have come from not the main characters. I'll give you 2 chuckles, 1 laugh. Gonna keep count. All right, 2 laughs, 2 chuckles. All right, that was way too far. Again, seen this so many places, just done so much better. I credit that suck it joke to being a wrestling fan. Okay, so we're getting Leslie Jones pretty early. Winston doesn't come into the Ghostbusters until I think after the first hour. Oh. So this guy is another guy from Paul Feig's other space series. Which he pretty much played a fucking weirdo in that show, too. Honestly, I'd rather Paul Feig come back and do more of that. More bad ghost effects. So I'm pretty sure that guy is like the villain in some form. What the hell's going on? He reminds me more of Janish. I think that was his name from Ghostbusters 2. Which so far, Ghostbusters 2 is definitely way better than this. Okay, so for some reason, this guy wants to break the barrier between humans and ghosts. Is it the same firehouse? Definitely looks like it. I know, yeah, I'm pretty sure that is. It looks like the same location. Okay. So we got our second soup joke. I am just not feeling Kate McKinnon in this movie. Oh, I should point out. Fuck, I should have pointed this out in the beginning, but I am watching the extended edition. So, if you're not watching the extended edition, it also said nothing about busting ghosts on there. It's nice to hear Chris Hemsworth get to use his real accent. I had high hopes for him from the trailer. I thought the casting of him as the Janine role was inspiring, but knowing they kind of just turned him into an idiot. Man, this is like the most unfunny Kristen Wiig has ever been. So she's this big smart scientist who just turns into putty in front of this handsome man. I didn't even notice. Dog named Michael Hat. This is not funny. Kate McKinnon is just not funny. I do like hot dogs. I do like 7-Eleven hot dogs. Probably not a popular opinion. Okay, he's really stupid. That's not even a joke. So this is twice in a row the guy made loud references and covered his eyes. Or listening references, I should say. Just getting bored already. So flickering lights in a New York subway, and all of a sudden, this guy looks familiar too. Definitely looks like fake spray paint. All right, so this guy just made the logo. Did she just say, is she on crack, or is that a good logo? Oh, God, these people are just so unfunny. I mean, Kate McKinnon is definitely just weird for the sake of being weird. Are they going to trap it? So this is their first version of the proton pack. Hmm. Sounded like the, oh. There's your proton stream. I was under the impression they don't actually catch ghosts in this movie. And how, if it's a ghost and they go through stuff, how could they possibly hurt anybody? Okay, what the fuck? A ghost got hit by a train. That... It's a fucking ghost! You can't hit a ghost with a train! You can't hit a ghost with a train. God. I would think it's fake too. Gross. Really gross. They didn't even notice that she was there. Hmm. A hide and seek tournament. All right, that's so funny, man. I don't think she really proved her case of why they need her. Now I got a cat crawling on my lap. All right, just don't interfere with the recording, buddy. That looks really bad. What do you think? That was like really bad CG. This is like $150 million movie. Like if the CG wasn't so bad on the ghost, that would actually be like some cool imagery of them in the mirror. I do like the idea of them like more time spent on developing the technology, because that was something in the original movie they just had, but honestly you don't need to know where it came from. But this is an interesting, different way to do it, I guess. Like the thing is, this movie is just trying so hard to be funny. All right, just Ghostbusters is not a physical comedy type movie. This is ridiculous. Ugh. This is over yet? I'm so bored. Straight up, if I wasn't watching this for the podcast, I would have turned this off by now. That's a more interesting story than anything that's happened in this movie. Oh, so they called her Ghost Girl and called Kate McKinnon Ghost Tits. Oh, dance number 2. Okay, so where do they know about this barrier? Where do they get the information about this barrier? Which we clearly know is real because the bad guy's got all these ghosts trapped behind the barrier and wants to let them out. I might actually fall asleep. Seriously, they've never busted a ghost. Why does that make any sense at all? Oh, God. I feel so bad for Bill Murray for this. Oh my God, just answer the phone. So everybody just adopts the name Ghostbusters right away. Is that all we get of them developing the equipment? Is just about 3 seconds in an alleyway? Is this the teacher guy? Yeah. This is... Like, are these supposed to be jokes? Why is this going so long? None of this is important. And that felt like they were just riffing. Okay, if they don't have the original siren noise, I'm out. They had the proton pack noise, so... What was the point of that? We didn't even hear their conversation. Is this where we get that stupid Fall Out Boy version? Yeah. Ugh. This is maybe the worst version. So the biggest fucking problem with this movie is they put out the trailer. The trailer looked really bad, and the one thing it had that was good was the remix of the song. That was really cool. And that version is not on the soundtrack. It's nowhere in the movie so far. That's still not funny. It wasn't funny in the trailer. Not funny here. All right, so they're at the rock concert that we saw the bad guy go into. Oh, hey. Michael McDonald. Wow, he is really gray now. I assume we will hear the scream. I don't like this PKE meter. I like the subtleness of the original one. That looks like the same thing from the beginning of the movie that was in the house. So this seems to be the thing letting the ghosts in through the barrier. I guess we saw the bad guy making them earlier. I remember that. Okay, I love the idea of the moving mannequin. That is actually something that reminds me of Silent Hill 3 and is actually fucking creepy as hell. See, that's a cool idea, and I like her reaction of, like, being kind of smart about it. Hey, watch your streams, man. So I'm pretty far into this movie and not one ghost has been captured. That would just look like an awesome fucking rock show. I really hope this movie is not much longer. Let's see if I can find out. Oh my god. I'm literally only halfway through the movie. This has felt like 9 years so far. Seriously, what was the point of that? Was he trying to make a statement about something? Why is the ghost all of a sudden on her shoulders? Fuck. Am I gonna have to break this up in 2 parts so I can take a nap? This is not what Ghostbusters was at all. Oh, hey, we finally got a trap. So they actually do catch a ghost. I feel like I remember reading a review where they say they don't catch ghosts, they just kill them. And that seems to be completely false. So whoever wrote that review, shame on you, because they catch at least one ghost in this movie. Doing this at a rock concert is not as cool as doing it at the restaurant with Slimer. Speaking of which, will there be a Slimer? Ozzy? Or supposed to be Ozzy? Ooh, he mad. Okay, now why is he drawing that? Ooh, dance sequence number 3. Paul Feig really knows what we wanted. That whole character story is just pathetic. Oh, poor Bill Murray. What was that? 3 chuckles? 2 laughs?
Let's start light and easy. Why are you pretending to catch ghosts? You're telling me there's a ghost inside that thermos? Well, I would love to see that. I really would.
Emphasis on the boot could have been a clever line. Oh my god, how did people stay awake through this movie?
How's that for my time? I come, you've caught a ghost, I can't see it. Yeah? No, you only lack the proper equipment, like a garbage truck to hang on to the back of.
What does that even mean?
Here's my mother's.
That is an awesome hat.
All right, man. Thanks for stopping by. Well, I guess the graciousness has run out. I would love to see it.
Okay, this just seems really stupid. So they caught the ghost and they're just gonna let it out.
Oh, God, you two are something. Girl. Jasper.
Oh, good. Put him out of his misery. Get him out of this movie.
Oh, my God. Who threw him out the window? Oh, you mean like Patrick Swayze? Like you're sitting behind you making some pottery? What?
Oh, God.
Official business. We'll take it from here, thank you. You need to come with us.
Seriously about to doze off.
Who is on top?
Okay. Again, not funny. This whole, like, every joke in this movie feels like they just let the camera roll and they're like, hey, say some funny stuff. And then they threw it all into the movie, didn't cut any of it.
That's not so good. No feet on the table, please. We know you're not frauds because we have been monitoring the situation quite closely. So, what do you know? Larger scale. Well, that sounds terrible. Okay, well, you've been doing great work. Well done.
Is this mayor related? Or he's not the mayor, is he?
Not the one. These gentlemen are on it. Let the government do their work. crime and you're good. Guilty as charged.
Other than that, I feel like we keep it fair.
She has a necklace with her name on it. Does she not know who she is?
Using distinctly un-American sounds as silent. Do you have any idea how many federal regulations you're breaking on a daily basis?
One,
No.
two,
No.
is it one?
Just sit quietly. Here's the essence of it.
So is she stupid now too?
You have to make the public believe that you are false.
Wait, why? The human brain, you know, can only handle so much. If everybody knew what was going on, you know, there'd be a panic. So we need to get the information out there that the incident at the concert was a hoax. Because otherwise there'd be mass hysteria. We don't want mass hysteria either. Our main concern is that we'll continue our work. Yes, that is very important, very important. But my concern is, I feel like the cat is sort of already kind of out of the bag. I think what they're saying is the cat is out of the bag. They want us to put the cat back inside the bag. Well, I know that's what they're saying, but I'm saying the cat's already out, so it's hard to get the cat out.
This movie's trying so fucking hard.
If the cat is out of the bag, you can't put it back in the bag. I put a cat in the bag all the time. But once the cat is out of the bag, aren't we hold on, the cat is out of the bag. We just better shove that damn cat back in the bag.
The cat has been out of the bag before, and yet people lose interest and put it back in.
People always move on.
Sheriff in New Mexico reports a UFO encounter. The crew of the SS Orang Medan dies mysteriously. The entire town of Langville, Montana goes missing.
Okay, but we're talking about relocating.
Where are the goddamn jokes? I need to remind you a ghost cannot be hit by a train. Can't stress that enough.
On that horrifying note, thank you all so much for coming. Call this number if you have any more info. But when it comes to these ghosts, we'll take it from here. The U.S. government doesn't need the help of hobbyists, okay? So go back upstairs to your little dim sum tea party, okay? And leave it to us. We're the big dogs.
You need heads.
Lock it. Okay, put a lock it.
Oh my god.
Throw your window up.
Watching you.
You think they got genitals in there, or is it more of a Ken doll situation?
I'm watching you.
I'm gonna get a Ken doll situation. That's smooth.
We're watching you.
Now the mirror said
It's amazing how these people have no chemistry.
you gotta be prepared. That's why I've made a table of treats. Hey, everybody's had a hard day. Step right up, pick a gun, any gun. No! I'm sorry, not that gun. That one's not ready. Here's one it is. Here in the meat.
If it's not ready, why the fuck do you have it out there?
Oh, what does it do? It's a Swiss Army knife. No woman should walk around unarmed. I know what it does. Also, here, why don't you take this? Yeah? Got a toss. That's gonna send up a little poof. It's only dangerous to ghosts. All right.
Hmm.
Yeah, my mistake. It was a medium poof. This puppy I like to call a ghost chipper. Hollow laser technology sucks in the ghost and nukes the lungs instead. Step up to that and do what you're gonna do.
So now it looks like they are making weapons to just kill ghosts. Which I don't know how you kill a ghost, but whatever. Vaporize, I guess, is the proper word.
It's like Mardi Gras in there. It's a proton glove. It's going to maximize flexibility during hand-to-spectre combat. Just give it a punch. It's motion activated.
Why do they, like... Why is that an interesting weapon? What is the punching? Like, how's that supposed to work? Motion activated?
Hey, lady, I call this a successful test. It's fraudulent and unsafe, frankly. You know, these Ghostbusters are creating an unnecessary panic and a bad grab for sanity. People can rest assured that the women are safe. My favorite acid.
Okay, I'll get it.
Yeah, Paul.
Because a thing means to us. What was that thing that threw that man out the window the other day?
Kevin, it was a ghost. Do you not know what goes on here, Kevin?
Okay, I got it. We sold the restaurant. Guys, we have no customers anymore. It's time to face the facts. The restaurant is not working.
Standing in the acid.
Slippers.
It's hydrochloric acid with a baking soda. There you go. That's how you clean up hydrochloric. Good boy.
Oh, God, it stinks. Just a big, beautiful dummy.
Well, it's official. We're all ghost girls now.
Can't see.
Well, that's the acid. Get back to the eye wash station.
Where's that?
It's back by the bathroom. Left. There you go. Stop when you hit something. Oh, man.
Oh my God.
All right, I would like to remind everybody here that in a very short amount of time, we have seen multiple Class 4 malevolent apparitions. Who cares what anybody else is saying about us? We know what we're doing. I mean, all morning I've been reading about this stuff.
I'm so bored. I'm literally tweeting Paul Feig right now.
Another one, Spectrum Polar Bear on 63rd and 5th. Then there was that weeping wall in the thrift store in Chelsea. Did you say 6th?
Watching at Paul Feig Ghostbusters. Ooh boy.
Upper West Side, yes. Where did you find the first device?
At the subway right here.
Here. Okay, what was the other address you said? Polar Bear at 63rd and 5th Ave. And the one in Chelsea? Chelsea is at 10th Avenue and 18th.
Boy, I wish they could have figured that out sooner.
Touching other little exes.
Ley lines.
What's ley lines?
It's a hidden network of energy lines that run across the earth. It's a current of supernatural energy. Supposedly, if you look at sacred sites and weird events all over the world and connect them with lines where they intersect, it's an unusually powerful spot. Bobby and I discussed this theory because it just seemed too random as to be merit. Dismiss this. Okay, that looks like it's got some merit. Using the devices to charge the ley lines. Creating vortex.
Alright, so they finally know somebody is trying to break the vortex wall or whatever the fuck it is.
We're crashing down. Must be. Okay, I'm calling this in. That bathroom section. 7th and 8th. What is there now? The Mercado.
The Mercado, that actually makes sense.
Okay, yes, I'm looking for Agents Hawkins and Wolf.
The Mikado has one of the weirdest histories of the buildings in New York.
Okay, so it's your standard issue Hawkins building.
No, this is even before it was a building. All sorts of places that happen up in Scotland. Like a peaceful trade between the Lenape Indians and Captain Warren, then all of a sudden everybody dies. Oh my God, you guys, this is the dude that was at the subway that was talking about the cataclysm. This is him.
There's still like an hour left.
Okay, ladies, let's gear up and hit that Mercado.
That's closer to an interesting version of the theme song.
Did you try adjusting the thermostat and replacing this call? Well, I'm terribly sorry that you have a draft afternoon. Why don't you
Oh, there's Janine.
someone who might care?
I forgot she had a cameo in this.
Hold on. What do you want? Where's your janitor? That nut job. What has he done? I don't know. Just take the stairs down.
So we still need cameos from Winston, Ernie Hudson, and Ray, Dan Aykroyd. Oh, this guy's been busy. See, I really like the whole behind the glass thing.
The Ghostbusters.
Look, I think it's great you found yourself a little hobby, and I'm sure on paper, flooding New York City with ghosts seemed like a great idea, but we happen to like the world the way it is.
Then you must have been afforded the basic dignity and respect of a human being, which I have been denied.
Not really. People dump on us pretty much all the time.
I am a genius. I see things that no one else does. And for it, I am rewarded with nothing but scorn and mockery. Luckily, I am not the only one seeking revenge. Behind these are millions of souls. Souls to be cast aside. Souls who see the world as it truly is. As garbage. Garbage that needs to be cleaned up. They're mostly dudes. When these barriers are destroyed, an army of the undead will return to pester the living.
Hester, the living doesn't sound so bad.
They will return to pester the living with unspeakable pain and torment. Children will be pestered limb from limb in front of their own parents.
Oh my god.
Parents will be pestered in half, and pestered in half again, and pestered into the ground until their bloody, pulpy bodies are nothing but
Oh my god, this just lets jokes go and go.
Let's get these barriers destroyed, shall we?
Wait, Rowan. I get it. You don't like people. People can be terrible. The thing is, though, there's so many terrific things out there. I mean, wonderful things that are worth living for. I mean, you got soup, and you know that first that you know when God, I can only think of soup. Anybody? Somebody? Patty? Salad. Salad? Hey, you stop what you're doing. Please, Rowan. It's over. You're going to jail, Rowan.
Well, in that case,
I am so tired.
Oh, yeah, that's dead, man.
Alright, so for some reason he killed himself.
Folks, are we good? Well, he's not, but yeah, we're okay. Hey, well, it's over.
Okay, we're down here. Down here.
You hate to see the smart ones go down.
Man, it smells like burnt bologna and regrets down here.
Okay, so how is this guy killing himself gonna break the barrier?
Technology's not that different from ours.
Oh, is he gonna be a ghost?
Both using the same science. That is strange. I think I know why. Look what Mr. Cookie Pants has been reading at the beach. I told you that there would be people out there that love their work. I made myself laugh, but really sociopath art.
Thank you for everything you did. You saved us all. The mayor thanks you.
Okay, so that was the mayor earlier.
Can I help you out? Why don't you all go get some rest? These gentlemen here will get you out of here.
Oh, thank you. That's very nice.
thanks for all you've done, ladies. Very well.
I just have to say a couple things to the press. You know how that goes. So we just are going to arrest you now. Oh, and we towed your car. Real tow, not fake tow. But that what? Wait, why? Everything is fine. It was just another publicity stunt by these incredibly sad and lonely women. It's like they write Eat, Pray, Love and just ran with it.
There was so much potential for a fucking remake of Ghostbusters. And honestly, if they would have just made it a sequel, it could have been more interesting.
Accomplished, ladies. I say we get some drinks and celebrate. How about it, Aaron? It's my treat.
Excuse me. A couple quick questions for my blog. First, how does it feel wasting taxpayer money and government resources with your friends?
Why don't you go back to your mother's basement where you lived?
Yeah, I plan to after this. Miss Gilbert, I asked around your hometown. I talked to somebody you went to school with. They said when you were a kid, you made up a ghost. So tell me, were you born from ghost girl.
Hold me that! Aaron, he's too pasty to fight! Aaron, you're making him look bad, right, Aaron? Come on, let it go!
We should put you back in therapy, freak. Oh! Oh, damn!
Yeah, that guy deserved that.
Guess whose desk I just set on fire? You'll never guess. You may guess what you see. Your desk later. Alright, just read it. Just read it. Newtown movie theater owner claims backs account regularly attends matinees by himself. Yes. I meant the one about me. It's devastating. Oh, look, you're on TV.
We spoke to Dr. Harold Fillmore, physics department chair at Columbia University, where Miss Gilbert used to teach.
Oh, no, no!
Unfortunately, we have these full ties with Miss Gilbert. Here at Columbia University, what about real science?
So it's just them being shit on for most of this movie.
You know what?
Miss Gilbert's association with the Medical Phoenix Institute, albeit distant, is a blight on this university. But good news, I have an album dropping in 2 weeks called I'm Gonna Be Me, and I wouldn't mind playing the title track.
Yo, Aaron, shake that off. You know how many lives you saved?
Yeah, we gotta get out there. We gotta get something to eat. We gotta find that bastard one. I'll do that.
Oh, fuck. I wonder if you can count my yawns in this.
I don't have time to explain why that's not gonna happen.
I am a firm believer of if you have a book in any movie or TV show, that you should make that book for real. You guys got some good art, at least. Oh, so is the ghost that she gets possessed by the ghost of that dude? There don't really seem to be any rules for the ghosts in this, so. Wait, weren't they all just in there and now all of a sudden she's alone? And it's a ghost. Can't the ghost just go through the door? Why does it have to come through the pipe?
You didn't think I was gone when there's so much left to do, did you, Abby? It's brilliant, really. Mind devices aimed at spectral entities on a nuclear paramolecular level.
Gross.
Sound familiar?
It just looks like fucking kids play ooze.
Our members barrier, and then the world shall bend. No! I apologize. That looks nastier than I intended. Enjoy it, Abby.
This couldn't be any more of like a kids movie. Even though they said fuck earlier.
Call me as soon as you get this. I think when Rowan killed himself, this is the next step in the
Mayor Bradley is meeting with the diplomats at Lotus Gate. It's very helpful.
Abby! We got you a sandwich so you don't be kicking off the house, man. You need some food. Your moves are getting real bad, yo. Come on, man.
Abby, you in there?
Okay, so they left to go get food, and Kristen Wiig was at home, so she was there alone. Like, it's clear Kate McKinnon had fun in her role, but it wasn't the best way to help your friend. Okay, she is just a person possessed by a ghost. That would kill her. Aw, he just wants to be part of the team. But he possessed an idiot, so he has his knowledge, but doesn't that kind of make him more of an idiot? It's always funny when you have to explain the joke to me. There were plenty of opportunities where some of these jokes could have been funny, but it's just this far in. Well, the movie's already been so boring. I really thought Chris Hemsworth was going to be the highlight of this movie, and it's just disappointing. So this was 2016. When was Age of Ultron? 2014. He really like is able to drop the muscle and then put it back on, because he is huge as Thor. Finally, something is happening. The hotel isn't supposed to be the same Dana's building, is it? Alright, Flasher ghosts, Rat ghosts. It's pretty dumb. Oh, this is the Dan Aykroyd moment. Alright, so far that's the second best of the cameos. This is a decent moment. Just wish it was funny. Like at this point, like that could have been a funny moment or a cool moment, but at this point watching the movie feels like work. Hey, Slimer. Why is everything going to kill them that they use? And why does everything on top of the car need to be like a nuclear reactor?
Well, we just gave the ghost a nuke. We should probably go.
So far, we haven't seen that the car can do anything, so why is it a nuke? Are these guys seriously planning on shooting guns at ghosts?
Oh, was Thanksgiving like Halloween back in the 1920s? Because that's a creepy ass Macy's parade.
I don't know. I'm always kind of been attracted to husky men in hats.
Looks like Tim Burton Batman.
With a balloon?
Yeah, straight down the barrel.
Why are the balloons ghosts? That makes no sense.
I mean, like your choice in.
I'm so confused. So there's ghosts possessing old parade floats, but then why are they floats? And Stay Puffed.
Oh, Lord, have mercy. This is
Oh my god, is this a fucking cartoon?
This is exactly how I pictured my death.
Stay Puft deserved better than that.
Proton guns are all well and good, but sometimes you need this for something.
Welcome back! Am I shouting? I think the wrong part of my ear! Let's go save this city and get our terrible receptionist back. We're not gonna find another one that pretty.
Where's the flying booth kid? Hello. Oh, dear brave men and women of the protection services industry. I would like to see you dance.
Oh boy. Dance number 4. Exactly what every Ghostbusters fan wanted. And why is he able to do this? And if he can do this to them, how can the Ghostbusters even hope to stop him? Who put a disco floor on top of that sign? What is going on? Why did Paul Feig think this was okay?
Women, always late. You can decide which dirty jumpsuit to wear. Let's give him a proper
Some disparaging comments about women and a movie about women.
welcome to the glory days of New York City. Have fun.
Would have been good enough.
Well, good news. Here's your chance to work on now.
Guys, you all have your sign arms. I suggest you use them.
Okay, power up!
There's no real ghost busting in this movie. They catch one ghost, and now I don't know what they're doing with these guys. That was stupid.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, hey, it's that guy. Oh, God. So they just turned to slime. Was that the shotgun she talked about making that we never saw? When did she have the time to make it? They've all been pretty busy since that scene.
Let's go.
See, like, I always thought I was really gonna like her character from the trailers and the licking of the gun moment. I was like, yeah, she seems like a fun type of crazy girl. And why is this pistol more like a whip? But it's just... It lands completely flat for me.
You just got Hoffman, baby! You know what? I thought I didn't know any of you when you were alive, because I don't
But like, there's still so many ghosts. Like, why aren't the rest attacking? They really have to leave all these people in a disco pose?
Great work, fellas. The country thanks you.
What the fuck? Slimer and his fucking wife or what? Oh, please let this almost be over. It's just the most slapsticky, lazy attempts at humor. And the written jokes are just as bad.
Look what this thing's name is. Ought to be something more Australian than Jacko. Hey, oh, I see this barbecue now.
Who are you? Oh, I'm Frank.
Why is he here?
Get some ice.
Get out of here! Get out of here!
I think you should have gave a heads up about what was going on out there.
Oh, it's been a very long day. Why don't you take a seat? Please sit.
Don't mind if I do.
Seriously. Lazy.
I do appreciate the joke. It's a classic.
Lazy. Even the cat on my lap is not entertained. Is that right, Obi?
Frustrating part. I just started figuring out the phone. Yeah.
Is this a little too Peter Pan? Yeah, I'll embrace it. You know, to be honest with you, this guy's making me feel stupid about the second. He's all yours.
I mean, it was smart to get rid of the other guy for Chris Hemsworth as the villain. But I don't know.
Maybe something stationary, like a bullseye.
I am so glad I did not see this in theaters. I would have felt so angry. Why is that a cartoon?
Well, you know what? I don't have no problem with that. Thank you very much for being reasonable.
Is this the kind of reference to the Stay Puft from the first one? Like, oh, this is what you want to face. Whatever you think of first. Like, what's the idea of them fighting their own logo? And it's a ghost. It should be able to go through stuff. Why is it destroying the floors of the building? What are the rules of ghosts? Okay, come on. That's like a 9/11 style disaster right there. Okay, how much more do I have on this? Ugh. Is he supposed to be sticky like a marshmallow?
Go back down and shoot directly in the portal with more power. I can do that when my pebble cause a reverse reaction.
We gotta cross the streams. Wait. You mean that thing you were talking about that's so powerful that will make all of our atoms implode?
No, implode is the wrong word. It'll be more violent than that. We gotta cross them up, and we've got an extremely good shot of pulling all the ionized ecto matter back into the dimension of its origin.
So on the plus side, we save the world. And on the negative side, we experience most painful death conceivable of all time.
Yeah, it's hard to shine red headed, but yeah.
Okay.
I kind of just want to put the timer up from the movie just to follow how much longer I have. I honestly, I don't know what's happening right now. The movie hasn't explained to me what's causing all this, how are they going to stop it. I mean, we're kind of getting the same beat right here of crossing the streams into the portal. But we have no idea why this is supposed to work. In the old movie, we knew. The door swings both ways. Oh my god. I can't get over this Slimer and his wife bullshit. Okay. Yeah, let's shoot the nuclear bomb. Slimer deserved better than this, guys. Ugh. This is embarrassing. Oh, it's just one thing after the other. Just let it end. Like I said, a theme to this movie is just one step too long, and they shot him in the dick. They literally shot him in the dick to end this movie. Why? They one step too far every time. It's not enough that we killed the ghost. Now he's got to grab one of the Ghostbusters on the way in. It just makes no sense. It really just feels like one thing after the other. What I'm learning is I really should have chosen a more comfortable place to watch this movie. Because this feels like 9 years. Man, this is just excessive and looks really bad. Why would that building get reconstructed from the ghost getting pulled in? It makes no sense. So is this the ghostly plane? And is it daytime now? Ugh. Why has their hair changed? What caused that to happen? What I don't understand, all these people are funny in other things. Was there a reference to the hair thing?
Our president is a plant. Oh my God. I'm kidding. You were gone for a second.
Did it, huh? Yeah, it did it. You all did it. We all did it.
That's right. We all did it.
Well,
What did you do there?
I did a lot, actually. I'll have you know that I walked over to the power box, pushed a bunch of buttons. Everything got sucked into the portal, then it closed up.
I can't. Sweet, sweet. Careful, too. We're unrelated. More important question. When did you have time to get a sandwich?
Oh, when I was looking for you guys, I looked in that deli over there.
when we were risking our lives trying to save New York City, you stopped in to get a sandwich?
Splitting the potatoes, tomatoes, doesn't matter. Point is, the Ghostbusters are back together again, okay? And that's what friends are for.
I'm so glad they're not going to make another one of these. This is painful. It really is.
A little help, please? Really? Can I have a beverage, please? Don't. And a muffin, thanks.
Oh my God. Are you a wizard?
In the aftermath of the event,
Like, what the fuck?
happened at Times Square and throughout.
Ugh.
So you're honestly going to stand here and tell me that we didn't all see ghosts, that what actually happened was that terrorists drugged all of the water with hallucinogens.
Wait, what?
I don't even understand the whole concept of them denying all the ghost stuff. It doesn't, like, what's the reason? They didn't want to cause a panic. There was already a panic. The panic's been handled. Just, it's ghosts, okay?
Well, now I know how Batman feels.
You know what? You don't have to keep telling me that. I think it looks nice, right?
I've talked to you at an AA meeting.
Her hair is super red.
Said before it was called Garfield. Wasn't even a cat. And was the president. It was part of the dead president's color collection.
You stay away from tan. That's my mother's color. I don't want to see that on anyone's head.
Mine was a woman with a secret. And she was kind of and she appeared to be in a canoe.
You know, when I want to make a choice.
Oh. Here we go. Physics is the study of the movement of bodies in space, and it can unlock the mysteries of the universe, but it cannot answer the essential question of what is our purpose here and to
Alright, instead of paying attention to this boring shit, I am tweeting at Donald Trump. You are a horrible human being. Reply. And I did that for my podcast account. I don't like to do that shit on my podcast account. I like to keep the podcast account about the podcast.
but thank you. Actually, we'd like you to continue to study this subject. Fully funded. We need to be better prepared just in case.
Yes, that's smart.
I've definitely seen this woman somewhere else, and apparently it was as memorable as this movie is going to be, because I'm going to forget all of this as soon as I finish.
You can't claim a whole floor. You can't do that. Not bad, Ghost Girl.
Thank you, and I proudly take that title.
Okay, so they're actually getting the firehouse, and now we get the Winston cameo.
Where is it?
What are you talking about? I told you what happened.
Where's the car?
It's on the other side.
In Jersey?
No, in the portal.
You know what? We should probably let them just work this out.
I got 4 funerals this weekend. I can't do it with just one hearse.
Maybe you can do 2 at a time.
I'm not stacking like flapjacks.
Oh God, it's over. Thank you. That was really bad. Like, I know I was going in with very low expectations. Oh my God. There's still more.
I'm just looking for a reasonable ratio of one to
So this is our third soup joke.
Come on, girl. You deserve every wonton in the world. Don't let any man tell you otherwise.
This guy should have been part of the main cast. He's the funniest person in the movie, honestly. Please. I know there is a post-credits thing where they mention Zool. I don't really care. There's more. This could have been so good, and it's very much not. I'm scared to let it keep rolling. I'm sorry. This was bad. I'm glad there might be little girls out there that love this movie and want to be a Ghostbuster now. That's great. Ugh.
Kind of next level stuff. Case in point.
Okay.
With his horse. He catches ghosts, and it transports them somewhere else. I don't know where, but I have a feeling it's Michigan. Sorry, Lansing.
Ugh. I think it would have been great if Chris Hemsworth was actually playing himself. That would be funny.
That's his containment unit, huh? You got that up and going? Oh, yeah? Well, that's still real smooth.
All right, so we got a containment unit. Just a lot of setup for the sequel that's never going to happen. Thank God.
Oh, well, that might be something you want to work on. Oh, hi. Hello. Sorry, I didn't know anyone else was here. What a dingling. I forgot to introduce. This is my mentor.
Oh, God. They actually got her in.
All someone has to do is sneeze too hard, and everyone in this building is going to be sick. You need this safety line?
Safety lines are for dudes.
Safety for dudes.
Why did they bring her back? They could have saved at least one person.
Is that for us? I guess some people actually do know what we do.
Well, that's not terrible. No, it's not. It's not terrible at all.
Just let it be over. Just let it be over. Oh my God, this music is so bad. Okay, I just need to get this over. I'm not going to wait for the post-credit scene. This movie's really bad. Don't watch it. If you have watched it and you do like it, I'm sorry. Because it's just not funny. It's so lazy. It feels like a fucking C-tier comedy that was trying to be a big blockbuster movie. And Ghostbusters is not a blockbuster. It never was. Like, you watch the original Ghostbusters and the comedy is subtle. Like, it's not thrown in your face. It's like quirky dialogue, and it's just not what this movie represents. And I'm wildly disappointed. I was trying to keep an open mind for something even remotely funny, and this just wasn't it. So, sorry. That was bad. That was a big waste of time. Hopefully you don't feel like you wasted your time. I have fun talking to you guys, and I want to do more things like this. There's tons of movies I haven't seen, like The Godfather and the first Rambo. Actually, any of the Rambos. But yeah, that's going to be it for this one. I can't sit through this anymore. So thank you for listening. This was my first experience with Ghostbusters, and don't worry, script episodes are coming. So thank you, everybody, for listening. Everybody who did listen, who made it through the whole thing. I'll be surprised if you did. If you're not following along with the movie, I don't know how you sat through all my yawns. But thanks, everybody, for listening. Be sure to rate and review on iTunes. I feel like this is a good point to point that out, or a good time to point that out. But yeah, thanks for listening. This was my first reactions to Ghostbusters 2016, the extended edition. Ugh.